Hello chess lovers, I have a very dramatic game for you from 1974 candidates final. Viktor Korchnoi is playing with the white pieces and Anatoly Karpov is on the black side. Korchnoi started with d4 and knight f6 by Karpov, knight f3, e6, g3, b6, Karpov goes for queen's Indian defense, bishop g2, bishop b7, c4, bishop e7, knight c3, black castles kingside, queen c2, c5 challenging white center, and Korchnoi plays d5. And after e takes d5, the knight is jumping on g5 square. White is just using the weakness of this h1 a8 diagonal. Knight c6. In the fifth game of their match, Karpov had played g6 and obtained an excellent game from the opening. So this knight move came as a surprise for Korchnoi. This time against g6 he had prepared h4, which leads to great complications. After knight g5 we see knight c6, knight takes d5. Already there are some very nasty threats. White is threatening knight takes f6 followed by queen takes h7, checkmate. That's why black plays g6 blocking the queen's path, and once this queen is doing nothing on c2 square, Korchnoi plays queen d2. White is preparing to transfer the queen towards the dark square weaknesses near the black king. Knight takes d5, a weak move by Karpov. Admittedly, white knight was very powerful on d5 square, but the bishop which replaces it radiates strength in all directions and proves to be a far more deadly enemy. Knight a5 would have been better, protecting the bishop on b7 and preparing to go for some exchanges on d5, but instead after queen d2 we see knight takes d5, bishop takes d5, and another mistake by Karpov, rook b8. It was better to play bishop takes g5, and if queen takes g5 only now rook b8. But instead, after bishop takes d5, we see rook b8, which allows Korchnoi to go for this beautiful tactical shot, knight takes h7. After the match, Karpov stated in the press that his loss in this game was the fault of his seconds. They had missed this blow in their prepared analysis. Karpov didn't accept the sacrifice and played rook e8. Well, if a move like king takes h7, then this leads to a forced mate. White can first capture on g6 and then queen h5 check and then bishop e4, threatening queen h7 mate. If f5, then again bishop d5 check, and black king is getting checkmated. Let's go back. That's why after knight takes h7 we see rook e8. Actually, knight d4 could have prolonged the game, but after losing the rook, again this is going to be winning for white. We see rook e8. Here comes the queen, queen h6. Already there are so many threats like queen takes g6 or knight g5. We see knight e5 and knight g5 threatening mate. Already resignation is possible, but Karpov didn't want to lose so quickly and he still prolonged the game. We see bishop takes g5, bishop takes g5. Now if queen c7, then bishop f6 is winning. That's why after bishop takes g5, Karpov gave up his queen by capturing on g5. Queen takes g5, bishop takes d5. And now white has to be very careful. If a move like c takes d5, then after knight f3, this time white will lose. After winning the queen, black will be a piece up. And here an interesting incident occurred. At this point, Korchnoi went up to the arbiter and asked whether it was legal for him to castle when his rook on h1 was under attack. He was assured that it was, and after coming back he castled kingside. Bishop takes c4, but after f4, Karpov resigned. Well, if knight c6, then f5 is coming. If rook e5, then queen f4 attacking the bishop and then capturing on g6, it's over. This is going to be an easy win for white. If you enjoyed this beautiful game, don't forget to give the thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. More games are coming. Good luck.